Hey everyone, welcome to JoJo's World.
Good twilight, if you will.
The sun is setting, the twilight are even now invading the nation of Hyrule, and a young man, a goat farmer by the name of, insert character name here, is turned into a wolf and goes on a spectacular adventure in Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, which is not what this is. This is JoJo's World, our JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast, and I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts.
Nick.
Yes.
Everyone is very excited that Stone Ocean JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean, is returning in September 1st.
Yes! I love September 1st.
The next batch of, 11 or so episodes.
Is that just the second third, or is that...
I think so, yes.
The second
I mean, time will tell when it comes out, but I think second, third.
Okay, good. Because I want my JoJo's parts long and crunchy.
But I would also like it if the break between them was a little smaller.
Yes, indeed. But now we get bubblegum.
We sure do get bubblegum.
You love a good bubblegum.
There's a bubblegum crisis happening on every episode of JoJo's World right now as we cover the seminal 90s anime Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. The year 2040. The place, Tokyo, and the crisis, bubblegum.
Hey, speaking of crises, our patrons.
Having a crisis every day.
Did you know that,
about our patrons.
Did you know that they still exist?
Patreon Crisis, Liam 2020.
And they can give us money.
2022.
Are we going crazy? Have we already gone crazy? I don't know. But
you don't have to be crazy to record a podcast, but it
do.
Helps.
You do have to be crazy to give us money on patreon.com/JoJo's World.
Crazy like a fox.
Crazy like today's patron, who has the excellent and memorable name, as I open up my phone to get the pronunciation right.
So memorable. Such a memorable name.
Of Serena Wilson.
Serena Wilson.
Who might be Serena Wilson, but it's spelled with an I.
Sure, it's not spelt like the
Serena Williams.
Dubbed name. True that. I was going to go with the dubbed name of Sailor Moon, which I think might have been Serena.
Serena Moon?
No.
That's just her normal name? Serena?
I think so.
No, surely not.
Hey, Google. I don't have any voice command set up on my phone, and this isn't a Google phone.
No, it's an iPhone.
Hey, Google, what was Sailor Moon's name in the dub?
Sailor Moon's name was Sailor Moon.
Serena Tsukino.
Serena Tsukino.
So they didn't change her surname, just her first name.
Wait, what was her first name normally?
Usagi. Which is Japanese for, rabbit or something like that.
And what does Serena mean in English?
Like serene, I guess? Do you want me to pull up babynames.com?
Oh, please. Yes, let's go deep on
Babynamestime.com with JoJo's World.
What does Pris mean? What do these names mean?
Serena is a feminine given name. It is derived from the Latin word serenus, meaning clear, tranquil, serene. This name was borne by an obscure early saint, Saint Serena of Rome, but not like Serena Williams. What was our patron's name?
Serena Wilson. Thank you for your serene and calming donation.
Thank you. It helps us buy...
Sleep. Oh. It helps us purchase things for this podcast. Yes.
When we need to. Which is not a lot these days, but the hosting fees keep on coming.
Holy shit. With, what is it? What are we on now? Are we on Podbean now?
Yeah, Podbean.
Podbean subscription fees. You guys
exist. And also, a little treat for us when we want to, which contributes to things we can talk about on the podcast.
Yeah. Like Netflix. To watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, which requires a constant subscription service. We live in a capitalist nightmare hell, where you just pay money even if you don't.
And then the services keep getting worse and worse.
Yeah, and they keep getting more and more.
Nick.
Yes. Pris.
Do you want me to look the meaning
Yes,
of the name
I thought
Pris?
we were doing that.
This is the show now.
I wonder if it means something like price, like expensive or valuable.
From name-doctor.com.
Oh, I love Name Doctor.
This name derives from the Latin name Priscus, which in turn derives from the Latin prior, meaning the first, original, ancient, archaic, primitive, severe, old-fashioned. Saint Prissa was a Roman young woman allegedly tortured and executed for her Christian faith. She is revered as a saint and martyr by the Roman Catholic Church.
Shame.
And now you know the rest of the story.
So Pris actually means like first.
Sure.
So then what's Lina mean?
We're not doing this,
The
Nick.
last.
If you want to look up what all of the characters' names mean, you can do it between now and next episode.
Oh, but I'm gonna forget. Anyway, it's 2040.
It's 2040.
It's grim.
It's grim, it's gritty, it's cyberpunk. The city has burnt out blocks that you can live in for free.
Oh, nice.
Nick,
Yeah.
we realised that the streams we are watching of this show do not include the OP or ED.
Oh.
So we looked up the OP.
And man, it's got some good lyrics.
What did you think?
Cool. A 14-year-old me would be like, whoa, those laser and skin tight
Yeah, and
suits.
a 9-year-old me was like, wow, cool robot.
Were you that face on that meme?
Yeah, sure.
What was the thing that was going over you?
Cyberpunk, techno-capitalist hellscape, exploitation of living near human creatures.
Keep going.
That's enough.
Oh, cool robot though. Very cool robot though. Yeah, no, the opening, it's cool. It's cool, but the lyrics.
Yeah, so the song, it's kind of a J grunge situation.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are all about how it's better to fuck than make Frankenstein's monster.
That is not what I took from it, but okay. To be fair, that is, yeah, okay. It does feel very on the nose for this show.
It's like some choices of lyrics. Hey, how are you, Mr. Romeo? They say that you're old-fashioned. Clone dolls give their love in smart ways. Running through it is 1,000 times better than doing it the virtual way, don't you think? Logic won't help us understand, you know, what it is that our hearts want. What's important is loving with all your heart and soul, like you and Juliet did. And I looked up the lyrics of this song for the first time today for this podcast and revealed the secret second verse, which begins with this amazing line.
Because at this point I was thinking, oh, robots. Yeah, that makes sense. But
This amazing line
This amazing
that kicks
line.
off the second verse,
Yeah.
the second half of the song.
yeah,
P.S.
okay.
P.S. Come to think of it, God disappeared this year.
Okay. Go on.
Communication between dolls goes nowhere, and by the way, with this ID card and 5-digit barcode, we can know the very nature of your soul. That's right, it's completely high-tech.
This escalated very quickly.
It may seem like a tease when our bare skin touches, but that's okay. You see what I mean? It's better to fuck than make Frankenstein's monster.
I think I see what you mean now. Okay.
But most importantly, God disappeared this year.
Oh, that's good.
You know,
that's great.
up until this year, you know, us and God, we were tight.
20
Now,
you know.
he's not returning my calls.
2039, I was like,
It's a real
God,
Bruce Almighty situation.
real tight. And now it's like, oh no.
Just like kicking off the verse of your song with P.S. as well.
I mean, not the worst, but pretty intense as the start of a second verse. Like, like what? So, okay. So, is there a third verse?
No, then it just kicks back into like
Oh, like being like, oh, like Juliet.
like a chorus or I don't know musical terms, a chorus or a bridge, but with like some slight variations in lyrics from the first Logic won't help us understand
Yeah.
sequence.
Yeah, the classic A B A B C. B.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Brilliant scientists and children have the same gleam in their eyes. Strange, isn't it?
It is strange. It's almost as though child robot.
It's almost like a brilliant scientist took something from his daughter to make a robot slave race.
No idea what it could possibly be. No idea.
More on that in a moment, as today we are covering episode 4, Machine Head, and episode 5, Rough and Ready of Bubblegum Crisis, Tokyo 2040.
We open.
No, let's get our music references out of the way first.
Machine Head is an album by Deep Purple?
It's also an American heavy metal band formed in 1991.
Yep. They have Burn My Eyes, The Blackening, they've got it's like Through My Eyes or something like that.
Does it Burn My Eyes again?
No, Burn My Eyes is one, but there's one that's like, or it's like things change but they stay the same. It's got like 2 hands in some dirt.
Great.
Love those guys.
Nick, you really are pulling your weight as the guy who knows about music this episode. Tell us about the album by Deep Purple.
The album by Deep Purple is, I believe, the one that has, it's not Smoke on the Water, but the other one that's like
Ah, yes, I know it well. And since I and the listeners all know it, I don't need to say its name, and they don't need to hear me say it.
Exactly. You know what it is. You know what it is. And then he's all like, and that's how the song literally goes for like 2 minutes. Michelangelo Bardio did a cover of that song where he's all like, shockingly.
Great.
But yeah, it's a pretty good album. It's pretty dope.
And you said a machine head is a part of a guitar.
Yes, you know okay, so you know how you got the big bit?
The bit that you hold and strum.
Yep, and you do that with it. And then
Nick's making a strumming motion.
And then you got the neck.
Yep, Nick's making a sort of jack-off motion.
Yep, with a giant like a horse or something. And then up here, you've got the bit that's a bit bigger.
Nick is sort of indicating a sort of vague machine head shape.
No, the head. That's the head of a guitar.
Okay.
Right? The head of a guitar is where you put the strings through.
Yep.
The machine heads, right? So you got like these
They're the bits you twist to adjust the tuning?
Yes, exactly. So you've got like the pegs that hold the string, and the machine head is the thing you twist to like make it turn, and then the string gets tight.
Right. And that adjusts the sound.
Exactly.
Makes it sound good or bad if you're nasty.
Exactly. So like if it's looser, it makes a lower sound, and if it's tighter, it makes a higher sound.
Same.
Liam, are you okay?
Rough and Ready. There's a few different options here on the Wikipedia Rough and Ready page, but I think the most likely is an album by the Jeff Beck Group.
Jeff Beck, famed guitarist.
Yes, tell me more.
He is fucking crazy.
Jazz fusion is this album.
Yeah, literally every time I see Jeff Beck playing guitar, he starts with a pick in his hand, and it always feels like he's going, all right, this time we're going to keep the pick in our hand. And then maybe like 20 to 30 seconds in, the pick will either just happen to disappear or fall out or something, and he just starts using his fingers for everything. And it's just like, God damn it, Jeff! Just pick a style, all right?
Nick, this album has 7 tracks on it.
Is one of them like something head, like rubber head or something?
Nope.
Okay.
I just want to draw attention to the track names because most of them are pretty normal. You've got on side 1, Got the Feeling, Situation, Short Business.
Yep.
And then
side B.
No, the fourth and final track on side 1 is, the writer is credited not as Beck, but as Max Middleton, and the name of the song is Max's Tune.
Just imagine, like, okay, so J.K. Rowling wrote the first
Pick someone else.
Okay, so
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Stephanie Meyer wrote the first 7 Twilight books, and then a guest writer came in for the last one. What's the title of the book? Oh, it's John's book.
Yeah. It goes for 8.5 minutes, does Max's Tune.
Fuck yeah. How long do the other ones go for?
2 to 5.
Oh yeah, and then Max's Tune is like, nah, you'll remember this one. Imagine, like, wait, was he, like, one of the members of the Jeff Beck group?
Daniel Maxwell Middleton, English composer and keyboardist, who was originally a docker on the London docks.
Oh. Okay.
Started his professional music career by playing keyboards for Jeff Beck.
Okay, alright, so he was a musician. He wasn't just some random guy who was like, can I write a song for you, Jeff? Yeah, right. Yeah, this is my bloody tune.
This is Max's tune.
Is it, wait, how long does it go for?
8 minutes 24 seconds.
Is it 8 minutes and 23 seconds of piano solo?
On the original United States releases, this track is titled Rains Park Blues and credited to Beck. Subsequent pressings are titled Max's Tune.
I fucking love that. I love that. That is amazing. God damn.
So, we open.
It's 2040.
That's true. That's 18 years in the future.
God save us all.
God save the Queen. Queen Elizabeth is hooked up to one of those things that Alan is hooked up to, keeping him alive.
She is currently living in a space elevator that we don't know about.
Now, you might remember where we left off last time, where Pris was pinned down in a burnt-out restaurant by a waitress boomer that had metamorphosized into some sort of tongue insect.
Liam, Pris can never be pinned down. She's not that kind of girl.
Okay.
Bam. Boom.
Our AD police friend Leon leaps into action in front of her with his big gun and is like, get out of here. And Daly's there with his even bigger gun.
Daly can't have an even bigger gun. He's not that kind of guy.
I mean, he does.
Boom.
It's just much bigger.
Oh. It's just... What kind of gun is it? Did we see
We
it
talked about
shoot?
this last time extensively. It's
No,
just
but
like a big machine gun.
Okay, all right. So we did see it shooting this
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Just checking it's not some weird, crazy railgun.
Celia yells over the comms, like, hey, the ADP police are here. Stop talking to each other, Pris and Nene. Don't pretend you know each other.
And then I think at this point, Pris tries to run away.
And there's this whole thing, like, it shoots out its, like, super sharp tongue, and, like, Nene has to defend her at first. She reveals her custom hard suit weapon, which is a little slot opens on the sort of fist of her hard suit, and it shoots out these glowing darts.
Like pins.
Yeah.
Or needles.
They are generally pretty ineffective from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, both times she's used them, nothing has happened.
Though she does use them in the second episode we're talking about today with a non-combat application to hack a camera.
Does she?
Yeah, because you remember the point where the camera cuts to a feed just saying sorry?
Yeah.
And then we see Nene above that camera and a bunch of those glowing needles are sticking out of it.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just a device she put
Just
in the
general
wall.
hacking.
Yeah.
Pris grabs a lead pipe to try and fight the boomer, but then Leon's there and is like, hey, have we met before? You seem familiar to me.
Pris looks over her shoulder.
She starts to leave, yet she does a lot of looking over her shoulder and close zooms on her single eye in this show, but also in these episodes.
I think by the time I noticed it, Liam was like, yeah, this is a show where Pris looks over her shoulder.
Yeah, so she's leaving and Leon's like, thanks for saving me. That's what you could have said if you were nice to me.
Pris looks over her shoulder, is like, huh!
She says nothing. I don't think she says anything to Leon in these two episodes.
She just looks at him and goes,
Oh, she says one thing, in fact, and it's to own him later.
what is she? Oh, later.
He's like, what's with that woman? Huh. The boomer battle is
Quick and
it's
disappointing.
quick. We get a brief flash of Lena's custom weapon, which is a sort of like energy whip that comes out of the head of her.
Yeah, they're like
you know those things that gymnasts twirl around?
the gymnast twirl?
The sort of ribbon?
Oh, the ribbon thing on the stick.
It's like that, but made of lasers and also coming out of the head.
Same.
And it cuts up the tongue, and she's like, aha, I'm super good at being a lightsaber. I'm gonna go kill this boomer now. Oh no, I've run out of batteries.
Literally everyone's like, they're running out of meter. They're all out of meter. And Lena
Just
is now
like
stuck.
me in Guilty Gear Strive, playing it with my friends, I run out of meter just when I really need it.
But Liam, you never had any meter.
That's not really true, actually. I normally play as Giovanna, who, she actually gets stronger the more meter you have, so you're incentivized to maintain it.
I just love that in the ultimate possible nerd fashion, you're just like, here's a joke. Well, actually, no, I need to clarify this quickly. I don't do that.
I'm actually really good at the game, and I always win.
I always pick the character that suits my playstyle, and that's why I win a lot. Which I do.
I would say amongst our social group, we're generally pretty evenly matched.
Well, not at first. You dominated us at first.
Well, that's because I was playing a very simple character.
True, and I believe I was playing, who's the guy who has Eddie?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, I had him.
But also as Eno, who is also pretty complicated.
Eno is the best. I think they didn't nerf her, and I'm very happy.
Okay, and
anyway.
and for the Guilty Gear heads out there, the other character I really enjoy is Axel,
Who can die in a hole.
who just throws scythes from the other side of the screen, and then you get close, and then he stops time, like Dio.
Fuck, I hate it. I hate it so
He's
much.
got a fun little grab where he sends his scythe under the ground, it hooks them around the ankles, pulls them towards him, and then he does a clothesline.
And every time you did it, it made me angry. And even mentioning it now, it makes me angry.
It's a fun game. I don't play a lot of fighting games because I rarely have people to play them with. But we all got Guilty Gear Strive, and we all had a good time.
It was a good time. Not too hard, not too easy.
Not as good as Earth Defense Force 5, of course.
Well, I
but
mean-
they're different sorts of games.
Well, I still can't believe we killed God.
I know. Spoilers.
Sorry. I still can't believe we killed the aliens.
All of the aliens.
Yes, the aliens.
Except for the ones who survived, as to be revealed in Earth Defense Force 6, out in Japan later this year.
Isn't it something like there's only 10% of the population left?
Yeah, so I heard a good comparison recently. What was it? They were talking about, XCOM 2 versus EDF 6. XCOM 2 takes place in a world where
The aliens won.
the player character's attempts in XCOM Enemy Unknown failed and the aliens won and Earth is in a real bad way, EDF 6 takes place in a world where the players won in EDF 5, but at the cost of 90% of the world's population and most of its habitable cities.
I still remember at the end of that game where we're shooting at, I think, the mothership, and they're like, we're gonna have to
Oh, you mean
nuke
the egg ship?
Yeah, I think it was the egg ship.
Which God came out of, as you already spoiled?
Yeah, and they were just like, we're gonna have to nuke the Earth. And the sergeant guy is like, no, we're not nuking the Earth.
And then the commander of the whole EDF is like, everything's over, all our forces are depleted. Wait, no, one soldier is still fighting. And that's you.
Yeah, but ironically, we're playing it on multiplayer.
Yes, yeah.
So there's two of us.
I think it was like one squad or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, my God, it's the janitor.
Because you start off as just like,
some guy who's there.
So, like, there's 4 different classes, and you're all just, like, basically civilian staff on this military base for, like, an open day. Like,
yeah, isn't there, like a
there's
tour?
a traffic director, security guard, a couple of other things. Like, a jetpack enthusiast who's going to do a demonstration.
And then you become the savior.
Worldwide alien invasion kicks off, and things go from there. Guys, Earth Defense Force 5 is a really good video game. It knows exactly how silly it's being.
I mean, it's not a good video game.
Oh, it is.
Damn, it's a good game.
I think it's a good video game.
Do you? Oh,
Yeah.
no. I think it's the ultimate budget video game.
That doesn't mean it's not good.
Well, okay. All right.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so Lena expends her meter and her hard suit starts to get really heavy and she's like, oh crap, I can't move. And they're like, don't worry, if your battery runs out, a backup battery will eject you from the suit, but that does mean the boomer will kill you.
It will literally eat you from the inside out.
Yeah.
So maybe don't eject, possibly? At which point, Nene's like, well, I have to go save her, but I can't save her.
Meanwhile, the AD police, Leon and Daly, are like, let's fire a few shots at the boomer. They mostly hit Lena's hard suit. We do see one bullet ricochet off the head of her hard suit as well. So it's a good thing that's well made.
Yeah.
And she's like trapped in her metal coffin, like, no, I'm not a boomer. Is this how I die? Is this the untimely end of Lena?
And then who should arrive?
Oh my god, it's Pris in her
it's Pris.
trademark blue hard suit, who punches open the whole side of the boomer, effortlessly rips out its core and wins.
And does the Metal Gear Rising.
Yes, she, what is it, Zangetsu? Is that what it is?
I think it's Zangetsu.
Well, I could look it up, but I won't.
Good.
The boomer is dead. And everyone is happy. Some more AD police arrive and are like, 2 survivors. The guy who owns the restaurant is like, please don't destroy my restaurant. And they're like, containing the boomer takes priority. It is dead.
It is dead right now, and they're just like,
I
shoot
would
the
love
place
it
up.
just like in the background, like they were just like hitting furniture with crowbars and things like that.
It's just like they walk in, shotgun, aim at a chair.
Yeah.
Are you the boomer?
Back at the base, everyone is crowding around Lena, who's basically been having a claustrophobic panic attack.
Nene gets her some water.
Yep.
Lena drinks the water.
I'm all better now.
They're all in skin-tight suits.
Except for
Pris.
Cilia,
Oh, sorry. Except for Celia.
who is in her own skin-tight dress.
Trust us, it's not a sex thing.
And Pris has already gotten changed off screen.
Yeah.
I mean, Cilia's very explicitly was a sex thing, just not a sex thing for us.
Well, yes. It's more like it's an anime of the time thing where they were like, why would we draw like...
I really don't think the suits are that bad.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a boob window, but, you know, it's Miss Marvel has a boob window.
No, but I'm saying every single character
And I
right
said
now...
Miss Marple.
Miss Marple. Every character right now...
Not Pris.
Yeah, Pris.
She got changed off screen.
What is this?
That's just the clothes she wears.
Yeah,
She's a rock star, Nick.
I know. And man, I appreciate this. Again, 14-year-old me would be like, damn.
Anyway, so they're all like, you did really good for your first try. And she's like, don't patronize me. And Pris is like, what the fuck were you thinking sending her out there when she's not ready for battle?
And they're like, it's fine. We all lived. It was good
You
data."
can't argue with the results.
Pris then looks over her shoulder.
I don't want to be on a team with an amateur.
And then she leaves.
Oh my god.
Oh, so cool.
Meanwhile, at Pris's house, which is a truck.
No, it's not a working truck, all right? Just
It
saying.
might be.
I mean, the tires are fucked.
Are they?
Yeah.
Time will tell as we progress through my screenshot. She's making herself a big, delicious anime sandwich.
Smoked salmon, lettuce, mustard.
She's got a lot of, like, Polaroid photos of herself on her own walls, which is interesting.
One of them is just her eating.
Yep.
Like, I think it must be from the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all just Polaroids. And I believe...
She's only got photos of herself and, like, occasionally a couple of other members of the band in frame. So she's making herself this sandwich. She's in just, like, lounging around the house clothes. She goes outside and Lena's there. And she's like, hey...
Can I have a sandwich?
She doesn't even say that. Chris just holds up the sandwich. He's like, do you want half of my sandwich? And then they're both eating full sandwiches.
Well, I thought she made 2, but I don't know. She's only got the 1 here, so...
It's not adding up.
I would love if it's like, do you want half? Cut away. What happened in the interim? Lena said no, I want a whole sandwich because I'm not a child.
I mean, the truck appears to have a flat tyre.
Yeah.
At 1 out of 3 we can see, but otherwise it might be in working order.
Yeah.
Certainly it's like hooked up to generator cables and things like that.
It is definitely a truck.
So it's a big pink truck in what just looks like a city that's been thoroughly bombed, but it's probably earthquake destruction.
Yeah. So she's just living in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and she's got outside of her truck a table, a sun chair, an umbrella, and a couch.
She's lying on the chair.
Reading a guitar magazine.
Which I would do if I could.
And I would eat a delicious sandwich.
Which Lena is currently doing.
And they're just talking.
They're just having a chat. They're having a band.
Just gals being friends.
Look, what's that test? The
Bechdel test.
They're just passing the Bechdel test.
I suppose they are. They do not talk about a man in this show.
So, yeah, she's just like,
Sorry about last night, how I almost got killed. I was just so excited to be a Night Saber.
I just wanted to do a good job. And Pris is like, if you don't have a purpose, you shouldn't be on the Night Saber team.
Why did you join the Night Sabers, Pris? Was it for world peace? Are you a soldier of fortune?
Do you want to work
I'm just
for
getting
the government?
Real, with the question for world peace, real, like, Peace Walker vibes.
Oh, God. Are we going to make an AI out of Pris?
I've said too much. And, basically she's like, I just do it for I find it a bit of a thrill to fight robots, and also it pays well. And she's like, Lena's like, so cynical.
Well, if you're fighting for the wrong reasons, why are you fighting at all? Lena, you dumb fuck. And Lena's all like, because justice.
Yeah, she says, frankly speaking, if you're just another fighter without purpose, don't risk your life. She's like, I got a purpose. I'm going to be stronger than you, Pris. I'm an anime protagonist.
And Pris is all like, you can fucking try, but I'm going to eat my sandwich.
That draws her attention for a moment.
Yeah, for a moment. And then she continues eating her sandwich.
And the sandwiches are good. Yep. Halfway point of the episode.
Nothing's happened.
They kill a boomer.
They did kill a boomer. And then ate a sandwich.
Yep. Celia is in her secret underground mansion, talking to her butler.
She's by the pool?
She's always by the pool. This place is like all pool. They have a long conversation where, the butler obviously worries about her, but she's trying to put him at ease, being like, just me and the girls having fun,
Jill.
I'm not doing this Night Sabers thing to avenge my father. It's just a good time.
Yes, and I'm sure Jill thought the same.
Jill was just an accident.
Are you sure you're okay, Celia?
Sure.
All right.
She's like, I'm not a little girl, I'm a mature woman now, I can fight any robots I want, but also, if you want to, you can leave. And he's like, no, I'm a loyal butler stereotype.
Cool. Bring back that mechanic for me.
Then she leaves, and he leaves, and she, puts her fat hand over her face, and is like, classic anime, verge of nervous breakdown tension.
Am I a mature woman?
And she gets a call from Nene's Bitmoji, which is like, I hacked into the Ganem servers.
She pours herself a Jack Daniel.
Celia is pouring herself some whiskey and getting some recreational pills out of a little snuff box.
Ooh, the stress.
So Nana's hacked into the Ganem servers, and she's found a record of the serial numbers of boomers that have gone berserk, but also a number of serial numbers for boomers that have yet to go berserk. So she's like, does that mean there's a way they can cause this to happen?
No, it's impossible. It's impossible. Her father did
Well, see you later. I'll contact you when I find something. Bye-bye. I do like the design of her little avatar. It's like her face, really cartoony. No connection between the disparate parts. A little bow tie, cummerbund situation.
The window where the suit
two hands in white gloves.
So Celia's all like, but Papa wouldn't make such a weak algorithm. Or something like
She
that.
says as she's smashing her glass into the table.
But the Jack Daniels...
I said it to you when we were watching, like, get this woman talking about boomers, and she smashed a computer last episode. This episode she's smashing her glass. It's a good thing she's apparently very rich.
I mean, she's living off that boomer money.
Yeah. No matter what upgrades they have, the core of the boomer can't be touched. Papa wouldn't have created such an easily understandable algorithm.
It's just no matter how many times I hear boomer, it never gets old.
Meanwhile, Leon is looking out the window and thinking about Pris, and Daly rinses him for it.
Daly's all like, oh, whenever you fall in love with a girl, you get so naive.
You buy her presents to try to win their attention.
And
there was all those women you met at bars.
Leon's all like, hey, they were just women I met at bars.
Yeah.
And then he's all like, whatever you say, so who's the lucky gal this time? He's like,
You don't know her.
It's no one. It's no one. It's no one.
It's Pris. He looks out the window and he thinks about how he saw Pris running away.
And how she looked over her shoulder.
Yeah, and she was so strong-willed.
And he's all like, damn it, why can't I get this woman out of my head? I love guitars.
So I think we've got a bit of a time-passing montage here, but it's unclear exactly how long it is. Mm-hmm. It might just be an evening, it could be several weeks.
I think it's one evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing a sequence of Lena, inspired by her poor performance in the last mech battle, going to the gym and doing basically every exercise.
Yep, her New Year's resolution.
Yep. Pris is performing a concert, and Leon is tracking down Pris and eventually appears in the terrifying red-lit crowd of the concert.
And he gives a little smirk and is like, I found you, you fuck. Alright, time to make you look over your shoulder for me.
Yeah.
Only one person makes a Pris look over her shoulder, and that's Pris.
Lena is lying in her bedroom, looking up at the ceiling, and she says, I don't really remember the context for this line. She says, there are 2 years of blank space. It's impossible to catch up no matter how I try.
Oh, because...
And then she looks at all her childhood photos on her bedside. Again, eating a sandwich, being good at athletics, and she remembers being good at athletics.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I think she's comparing herself to how the Nightsabers have been around for 2 years.
Maybe.
And so it's like, there's 2 years of blank space I can't keep up with.
Either that or it's going to be one of those traditional stupid anime inspiration things where she has either an older sibling or a childhood friend who was always like 2 years ahead of her in being better at things.
Exactly. And that is Pris.
Yeah, sure. Meanwhile, a factory boomer is getting a tune-up from a friendly technician. And these guys have a good, actual interpersonal relationship, which I appreciated. Like, he's like, that's all I can do for you. For more, you'll have to go to the service center, but I hope you feel better. And the boomer is like, thank you. I am treated well here at the boomer factory.
And he's all like, well, look, I gotta go now. But
I'm going to go to bed. You stand here and don't go insane.
This turtle head ass motherfucker.
Yep. As the boomer was walking away from you, I turned to you when we were watching and it did its voice and was like, now to go insane. But no, some shadowy men shoot it with a dart, paralyzing it.
To make it...
Just like people. They shot it with a poisonous dart.
To make it go insane.
And they hold up another sinister looking boomer core. Oh, every kind of way.
No, not the friendly boomer. Nah, I don't like him.
The band, Pris's band.
Yep, they're like, hey, Pris.
We haven't really talked about their appearances. There's one guy that looks like Bluto from Popeye, one guy that looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and one guy that looks like a pirate.
I was going to say, one guy that looks like the dude from Cowboy Bebop who has the mechanical arm.
A Jet.
Jet. One that looks like a red-haired Spike, but straight hair.
If Spike straightened his hair.
Yep. And the other one is fucking, not Luffy, it starts with a Z.
Oh, Zorro.
Looks like Zorro from One Piece if he was in a band.
If he was a schlub.
Yeah, if he was Zorro on a budget.
Zorro if he didn't work out but kept a pretty good diet.
Yeah, exactly. And didn't know how to use swords, but was really into them nonetheless.
But probably plays the bass or something.
Yeah. No, he plays the bass, right? The guy in green plays the bass.
Okay, I don't really care.
He's clearly a bass player. He has to.
Well, you were in a band once, Nick. I'll trust you to know this.
Everyone with long hair, they're the ones that play bass. Everyone with hair up like that is a guitar player.
That's a bandana, Nick.
Oh, shit. Anyone that wears a bandana, guitar player. Anyone who uses drumsticks.
You got a drummer there, baby.
There's a good chance. And then anyone who looks over their shoulder and is like, "Don't judge me," is probably the vocalist.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they were like, Pris, we felt like you were off your game a bit on the show tonight. And she's like, I'm going to leave wordlessly. And then she goes outside, and Leon is there, and he's like, hey, remember the other day when I was like, I thought you might thank me for helping you.
Pris looks over her shoulder and is like, huh.
She says nothing. She doesn't even give him a huh. She just gets on her motorcycle and gets ready to drive away, and he's like, you know, I saved your life. You could show me a little bit of politeness.
Fucking gratitude, you piece of shit ass vocalist.
Pris wordlessly answers her phone call.
Yep.
Oh no, a mad boomer. And she's gonna gear up her motorcycle to drive away, and he's like, hey, don't ignore me. She looks over her shoulder,
Yes!
through her motorcycle helmet,
That's a double shoulder.
and says, I hate those idiots in the AD police. And then she drives away, and he's like, well, I sure am still in this alleyway.
Damn it,
He gets a call from Daly, who is like, there's a mad boomer.
And he's all like, what? But I was just about to hook up with this
It's
chick.
my day off. Yeah, it was really going well. We were having a full-on conversation and everything.
Look, she was gonna come around to the AD police's way.
I do like the conversation that we kind of skimmed over earlier between Leon and Daly, like, showing that, like, for all his tough guy posturing, he's, like, a bit of a softie.
Oh yeah, he's a shy person. Self-admitted. Which probably means he's not very good with women.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing in this, I think.
He just walked up and was like, hey, do you like the AD police? No, goodbye.
Segueing seamlessly into the second episode, we notice the factory sign has changed from Miura to Miula. So we were like, so did they localize the signs, or was it a miscommunication with the animation studio?
So this is my theory, right? Is that originally it would have been in, like...
Katakana or something.
Yeah, something like that. But then obviously for us, Filthy Gaijin, they were like, make it English. And that's why...
Now, my guess
Yeah?
is that probably the two episodes were not animated all individually by the same person.
So they
They
misinterpreted.
probably gave the instructions in, Japanese script.
Yeah.
And
We'll just like
whoever
translate
did the
it
one
to...
scene did Miura, and whoever did the other did Miula.
And just be like, put it into Roman letters. And
Yeah.
they were like, oh, well, this is spelled with an R. It's like, no, it's spelled with an L, which is, times.
God, I sure hope someone got fired for that.
Why? They were probably trying their hardest.
Kidding. The boomer has gone nuts. The one that was friends with the man. And he kills the man with its huge claws.
No, none of them deserved this. They were friends.
It's true they were.
But I do hate boomers.
And this whole episode is like one prolonged boomer siege.
So Celia, Nene, Lina, and Pris all meet underground the aquarium place, aka
The silky
prep
doll.
room. Oh yeah, the silky doll. They all meet in that prep room and they're like, oh, Pris, you're here.
You're late, Pris.
And she's all like, don't call me late when I'm right on time, you piece of shit ass fucking amateurs.
Guys, there's a mad boomer in the industrial district. It's fusing with the nearby machines and becoming more powerful. Oh no. We've got to hurry. And they all get into their big railgun.
Very slowly.
Yep. And meanwhile, the AD police are like...
This fucking scene.
There's a massive blockade outside this factory.
It's a small battalion of troops.
It's like 2 or 3 dozen cars there.
Yeah. So they're all armed to the teeth.
Yep, in like full like stormtrooper outfits.
Yep. There's a guy inside a planning truck
Nick's favourite line of dialogue from the planning coordinator.
who is just okay. So imagine, right? It's a tactical siege.
Yep.
You're looking over the map. You're like, all right, boys.
You're wearing stormtrooper armor, but you do have your sleeves rolled up for map looking at.
Yeah, and you're just like, all right, we got to take this seriously. All right, this is a life or death situation for my men. The scene inside is very bad. Send in the probe robot, and it's just like, what? Is that all of your tactic? Okay, sure.
It's a good summary. The scene is bad.
There's not even a second person. It's just him being like,
Well, there's a couple of guys who control the probe robot.
yeah, but they're not at the table.
And for those of you wondering, the probe robot looks pretty much exactly like one of those Star Wars probe droids.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you know what? It looks like a Warhammer 40k Tau little drone.
I'm gonna have to take your word on that.
Like little circular disc at the top with bits coming out
That
of it.
man has an iron.
I think that's part of his car, Liam.
It looks like an iron, though,
It
doesn't
really
it?
does look like an iron, though. Yeah, so
Leon and Daly show up, even though it's Leon's day off.
why would he be showing up on his day
And
off?
they are basically just in this episode to comment on, like, the establishment AD police being like, oh, I can't believe they're doing that in this circumstance.
So dumb. No wonder Pris hates the AD police when this is the standard.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And they basically just like pop up every couple of minutes to say things like, "What? You're sending in the K-suits?
You idiots!" So they're just like
And that's like
chilling.
their whole contribution to the episode.
Yep.
Other than something right at the end, maybe.
So Celia is all like, "All right, I'm going to point my gun and shoot you up."
Yep.
Pris and Lina have a little moment where they're like, "I'm going to beat you, Pris," and she's all like, "No, you won't."
Pris is like, "I don't really care."
She doesn't look over her shoulder.
So, as is tradition, Celia fires the launch rail gun. And I just noticed how, like, serious and monotone her voice was when she was saying, like, "Lightsabers, action." In contrast to her getting very mad at boomers and smashing everything, which I feel like is a good bit of character work that she puts on this, like, calm and controlled facade for her employees / underlings.
Which, of course, we all do. I know my underlings desperately appreciate when I'm calm and
My
controlled.
underlings are all goblins, so I don't give a shit.
I just give them a withering stare and they go off and do what I need them to.
Meanwhile, Quincy Rosenkreutz, aka Alan.
Quincy Rosenkreutz. Do you mean Quincy Rosenkreutz?
No, I don't think so.
How do you pronounce Rosenkreutz?
I'm assuming it's like German or something, not French.
I don't know. Could be Spanish.
There's just no way to know, and I don't care that much.
Listeners, if you know how to pronounce Rosenkreutz, at me.
At Milk Juice.
With 2 O's.
Anyway,
Alan's in the top of his fucking tower.
being like, the goal of this operation is to capture the Nightsabers. We don't really give a shit about the Mad Boomer that much. The AD police don't like the Nightsabers, so we're going to use them.
And Alan's all like, "You know, I'd like to ask the Nightsabers a question."
That does happen later. Let's get that out of the way. He's like, "What?" So Mason's like, "What would you do if you captured them?" "I would have a nice dinner with them and ask them why they hate boomers. Why can't they love boomers?"
"I just wish everyone could love the boomers."
The humble boomer.
"Don't they understand the boomer?"
More on that in a sec, but right now the conversation they're having is a bit of exposition for us. "So, Mason, you figured out a way to make boomers go berserk on command, didn't you?" "No, that's impossible. What we merely did was we took the core from an already mad boomer and put it in a new boomer." Don't know how they did that, since
They exploded.
mad boomers are pretty hard to get close to without dying, and the only way to stop one is to crush its core.
Yeah. But they got it.
I guess they just like shot it to shit until it ran out of metal to reform with.
They literally were just like, we sliced off all of its limbs, and then we kept slicing until it was just the core left.
So they took that core and they put that in the friendly robot from last time, and now it's going fucking nuts.
And Mason is all like, "Yeah,
So
I'm an asshole."
Yep, I'm a corporate psychopath.
Yeah, he's not a good person.
No, you can tell from his cheekbones.
Also, the way he just looks.
He's so evil. He's got those 2 strands of down forehead hair. You know, that evil
it.
90s people have.
Yeah, it's like Giovanni
Switchback.
from
Yeah,
Team
from
Rocket.
Pokemon.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there like,
Yeah. I secretly resent you, Chairman, but you are above me in the corporate hierarchy, so I'll be respectful to your face.
"Ooh.
Mason, will you get me a sandwich?
No, I don't think I will."
Okay. I don't think I need to eat with all these tubes in me anyway.
Yeah, why does he have all these tubes in him?
To keep him alive.
But like, I guess so. I guess Alan does need to be kept alive with tubes.
They're pumping pure gelatin into him.
Pure boomer.
So, they send it in the probe droid. It has and we see the controller for the probe droid says Corey Rover for purpose.
Corey Rover.
So now that's the probe droid's name.
Corey Rover?
Send in Corey Rover.
Corey Rover on the scene, going in. Hot. I'm in.
This is Corey Rover reporting for the AD Police. I'm in a factory, and there's a boomer over there that looks like if you fused a velociraptor and a spider.
Can you tell us more about the boomer's motivation, Corey?
No, it is fusing with me. I'm cutting off the feed now.
Corey! Corey! My God, we've just lost contact with Corey.
We've lost Corey. He's more boomer than probe droid now.
Corey.
I do like the design of this boomer, though.
Oh yeah, he's like very... It's still very bird-like again, but with more teeth.
With more teeth. Yeah, that's why I said like a velociraptor
Yeah.
almost.
And like weird gnashy...
We don't get a lot of like wide shot looks at it, but yeah, it's got a sort of spider-like body.
It's got like 6... It's like a scorpion.
And it's got huge claws, which it can extend out like the guy from One Piece.
Oh, you know what it reminds me of? You know the big scorpion boys in Serious Sam?
No.
They're like centaurs, but scorpions.
Are they the ones where if you had a pirated copy of the game, one of them would chase you all the time?
Yes, and it had like a bajillion health and moved faster and shot faster and made your life a living hell. And yet people still beat the game with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Challenge run.
Exactly. People were like, wow, that's really nice of you. It's like, no, this is what?
This is a deterrent.
You should not want this. It's like, no, but it's really hard now. I like that.
It's even more serious, Sam. So, they realise that the boomer is feeding off the factory's power supply, so they give Nene an IT task to solve that. And over the course of a few scenes and conversations, she sneaks into a back room, plugs some cables into some other cables, does some hacky stuff, and then reverses the polarity of the boomer so that it gets electrocuted, a heap of metal mass falls off it, and then they can attack it.
Oh, actually, it's something to do with the phase, I'll have you know. You absolute fucking disgusting ignorant man.
Okay.
It as an electrical engineering major at university, which I did drop out of, I'll have you fucking know that the phase is not the same as the polarity. You fucking bloody... How could you not know that? You fucking...
Call yourself an anime podcaster.
You call yourself an anime podcaster and you don't know how phasors are used by electrical engineers to determine the phase of electrical current in an alternating current system? What kind of fucking person are you? You three-phase dog.
She also shuts down the AD police's surveillance camera. So this is like the first combat situation thing Nene's achieved in the show, right?
Well, I thought she also did something very similar in like the first confrontation where like either their radios or something went down because
I don't recall.
Oh, I can't remember. But maybe she was behind that as well.
Oh, yeah. So she does
more of that.
Prevent footage of the lightsabers getting out pretty generally. Like, remember when Leon was looking through the archives?
Yeah, she's the IT one.
Yeah.
She's the smart
Because she's
one.
young. She knows how computers work.
Ah, of course. She's not a boomer.
No. I want to ask them a question.
Oh, we're at this scene.
Why do they hate boomers? Why can't they love boomers? Some humans become insane. Why is it only boomers incite such fury?
Is it because when humans go insane, they don't literally transform into scorpions?
Yeah, I go insane and I like do a full-on Tetsuo from Akira and start absorbing people's biomass.
And they're just like, oh my god, Liam, what are you becoming? Yeah, pretty cool.
I forgot to take my meds.
No!
Only when these ladies love boomers can boomers live together with humans as a subhuman race.
Now see,
Don't you think so, Mason?
Just that sentence has this one bit of it.
doesn't one particular foreword.
Doesn't really line up with the other half of the sentence.
Only when we've convinced the Nightsabers to love humans can we live in harmony with them as our subjugated slaves.
See, again, there's something off about the wording of this statement. Can we really have clones if they live as equals?
They'll do their job.
Oh, again, Mason's just there. I really gotta pull you up on this, Alan. You're half-halfing me here.
Mason is like, I wonder if boomers can coexist with humans.
He's looking.
You hate boomers too, don't you, Mason?
And
Mason's like, excuse me.
Mason has this real liar game face on him right now.
And as Mason is walking out, Alan is once again, without moving his mouth, because that's how he talks, like, I want you to love boomers, ladies. I feel like that's probably our boomer line of the week.
Yup.
And then we have a brief flashback to earthquake-torn Neo-Tokyo, and the boomers helping with the reconstruction with their huge drill arms.
And they're all like...
They build the Genom Tower, and his monologue continues. Who do you think brought this megalocity back? Nick, have you been tracking this recent meme/argument
Go on.
about how you pronounce the Sonic the Hedgehog zone Hydrocity or Hydrocity?
I have not been keeping up with this meme.
I have seen a lot of stupid posts about this recently.
Wouldn't it be Hydro City?
You would think, but some people out there would not think.
I'm sorry, who are these fucking idiots?
Like I said, I really don't care that much.
Who the hell in their right mind?
They say Hydrocity sounds funnier.
You know what? They have a very good point. I mean, Hydrocity sounds like a thing you do.
Yeah, like atrocity. a Hydro-related atrocity.
Oh, God. So I went down to the water park the other day, and I took a kid, and I split him open.
It was an absolute hydrosity.
It's like, wait, what does that have to do with water? What do you mean? I'd put him in the pool.
Yeah.
Like,
there was water there.
wait, but that means that his bladder's there. Yeah. And now his bladder's in the pool. Split open.
Oh, there was, one more line of Quincy's extended I Love Boomers monologue.
Yep.
Where he's like, who do you think brought this megalocity back to life? And then he reaches out one shaking elderly hand to no one in particular because he's all alone.
Because Mason's left the room.
Yep. And just says, respect the boomers. Meanwhile, Mason is right outside his huge ornate door making out with the secretary boomer.
Who looks like a Dragon Ball Z character.
Speak on that.
She's got...
I see it now that I see her face, actually.
Yeah,
the shape of the eyes.
It's the shape of the eyes, the really, highlighted lips. She looks like an android.
Yeah, I mean, she is an android.
Touche.
She doesn't look like Android 17 or 18, though.
No, she looks
if anything,
like
she looks more like Android 19.
Exactly.
The weird little fucked up guy.
No, the really tall one with the green things who had the ears.
No, that was Android 16.
Was it?
Yes.
Because Android 18 and 19 were the ones
who were... 17 and 18
were
cool teens.
Yeah. And 16 was like Papa Bully.
Yeah. He was like Papa Bully.
That's my catchphrase now. Papa Bully. My God, he's so powerful. How you doing? Yeah, and he had like the weird earrings.
Sure.
And he was all like, I'm gonna kick you.
Yep.
And then 17 and 18 show up, they're like, Papa Bully. And then just punch him once and he dies.
That's not what happened, but okay.
Wasn't it?
They befriended him.
Did they?
He wanted to look at birds, and they were like, that's cool.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, so Mason's making out with this secretary.
Yep.
And says what can only be described as some fucking bullshit.
So, yeah, he's like, Rosenkreutz asked me if I hate boomers. And the secretary is like, you do hate boomers, don't you?
That's why you're making out with me.
And she says, he says, of course I hate them, but don't misunderstand me. I didn't mean you. The reason I kissed that zombie's ass is because I like boomers.
So, I'm interpreting this as...
But I don't mean ordinary boomers. I'm seeking, close up on his sinister eye, my own boomer.
Okay, so two things,
yes?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
One, when he says, the only reason I kissed that zombie's ass, I don't know if he's actually talking about Alan.
He absolutely is.
For a moment, I was like, are you talking about her? Are you implying that she's a walking zombie? Is that what you're saying here right now? Like,
no.
Maybe? Anyway. Second of all, very 90s anime villain motivation.
Yeah.
I'm seeking my own X.
What do you think that means?
Well, in the same way that, like, if I was a 90s anime villain, I could take Boomer and replace it with literally any word.
In the context of this show, what do you think his stated motivation here means? We can save this for predictions if you want.
Like, it's so fucking hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, because, like, you can replace that word with anything and it still works.
Yeah, but think about what it means in the show.
Well, I know, but, like, my own boomer could mean, like, my wife or, like, my own custom-built fuck toy. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm looking for my very own, like, slave. And it's like, oh, God, no. Oh, no. Oh no. No. What? Why?
Okay. I, of course, do know what he means, and it's on a larger scale than you're thinking right now.
Is he talking about
more on that later?
Is he talking about his own Alan?
Meanwhile, in Celia's car, her car is driving itself because it's the future. The joystick is moving itself.
Oh, that's convenient.
And she's remembering her childhood and the destruction of Tokyo in the earthquake.
Gasp.
And she's a child, and the butler, whose name is like Misio.
Mazio?
He's like, Miss Celia, I've just had a call from Bioscape headquarters. Dr. Stingray, your father, is missing in the earthquake.
Oh my God, Stingray! Aquarium!
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
It all adds up. Nick, her name is Celia Stingray.
She's a Marvel character.
Yeah. It's a good name.
It is a good name. Weirdly, somehow.
Dr. Stingray is like the name of a Venture Bros character, though.
She grew up and became, would she be like the good guy who just wants to be left alone, but does want to actually do good work?
Yeah.
Whereas Dr. Venture wants to be left alone, but doesn't give a shit anymore? Yeah.
And so little child Cilia does a little child version of the "it's raining on the lower half of my face" thing, where she's like, "I've been thinking that it might be good if he dies. I'm sure that Mama called him." And we see tears running down the lower half of her face with her upper half obscured by the edge of the frame.
And Alfred is like, Jesus Christ, Celia, that's a bit much.
Meanwhile, Leon shows up in AD Police Command Room, real casual. Leon and Daly are the only two not in riot gear.
And they're like, hey,
Leon, I thought you were off today. And he's like, I thought I'd come check this out.
You're doing the wrong things, huh?
This incident will be on the air so that we can show the citizens that the AD Police can be trusted.
All right, well, don't fuck it up. We're just going to be over here now.
And Leon's like, oh, you're staging this whole thing? I don't like that. And Daly in the background, over Leon's shoulder, real sinister style, is like, I knew the top brass wouldn't give permission to show the AD Police's operations or equipment to the news media. So this is, something is off here. Meanwhile, they're just shooting this boomer.
That's
It's tearing through them, so they bring out the K-suits.
There's nothing they can do with their piddly guns.
They're piddly massive machine guns.
Nene...
It's cutting the electricity, like we said before.
Yeah, Nene does the phase thing. All the wires turn blue.
No, that happens a bit later.
Oh, okay.
First, it's getting bigger and like jacking into more and more power, tearing through the AD Police.
Leon's all like, those fucking idiots. They're doing the wrong thing.
It's bearing down on one nameless, faceless AD police officer. The K-suits come in. Their machine guns are still pretty ineffective, but are slightly effective. like a full-on, like, prolonged 10-second blast will, like, knock off a tiny chip of armor. And they're like, good, I can do it. And then Leon's like, it's no good.
They're not doing the right thing.
Yep.
Don't they understand it's useless?
The boomer shoots at its whole freaking head like,
like Loch Ness.
Yep, like Loch Ness.
Yeah, like a big old neck.
Bites the head of the K-suit and starts to fuse with it. And they're like, eject from the K-suit, quickly. And then Nene turns on the electricity.
Yeah, changes the face.
Yep.
Changes the bloody phase of it.
And then now our other two Night Sabers are like, now's our chance to go in and kill the boomer. And they do.
They just head on in and that's it. They rip
They
through
get knocked around a little, but they both use their signature weapons to do some damage. The explosive fists. The Nene shows up and shoots some darts at it.
Lena cuts some cords with her whippy bladey things.
Yippee, whippy, whippy.
Yippee, whippy, whippy, gonna kill a boomer. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
More flashbacks.
Oh no,
Dr. Stingray is being visited by little baby Cilia Stingray and unseen face Mother Stingray.
Oh.
What's Papa making?
Why, he's making a subhuman.
Semi-human is the word they use here. What's a semi-human?
It's something to replace his wife, I hear.
Wow, Papa's incredible. Oh, I don't know. I think he's messing with God.
I think he's going against God's will, if you know what I mean.
P.S. I heard God left us this year.
She just pulls out a letter. Your Papa wrote this to me many years ago. I lost the other page. Meanwhile, back in the future,
back
fighting.
in the future, which is the present of 2040.
Yeah.
The fight is happening. Alan's watching. The AD police are watching. Then we cut back to the past, and an unnamed.
Hang on, wait.
Science flunky.
Hang on. Let's go through the. So you got the Night Sabers who are being in a fight with the Boomer.
Yep.
The Boomer who is watching the Night Sabers is being watched by the AD police.
The Boomer isn't watching the Night Sabers, it's fighting the Night Sabers.
No, the Boomer's watching them because Alan's watching through the Boomer.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Boomer's watching them. The AD police are watching the Boomer who's watching the Night Sabers. Leon and Daly are watching the AD police who are watching the Boomer who's watching the Night Sabers. And everyone else is watching Alan and Daly who's watching the AD police who's watching
Leon and Daly?
Yes.
And everyone else in Tokyo is watching the news, which is presumably covering this whole thing.
Who's watching Leon and Daly, who's watching the AD police, who's watching the Boomer.
And they're all being watched by
the Ganem Corporation, who's watching them.
Well, I was going to say they're all being watched by their servant Boomers, through which the Ganem Corporation is watching them.
So the Boomers are watching the Ganem Corporation, who are watching the people who are watching Leon and Daly, who are watching the AD police.
Who watches the Watchmen? Boomers, that's who.
Oh, the subhumans.
Anyway, so back in the past, this science flunky is like, please leave. And mum wife is like,
How dare you? I am not
are
leaving.
you saying he doesn't want to see his wife at all?
Is science more important than his family suddenly? Is he a real Elon Musk type?
He didn't say that.
Did he get some secretary pregnant?
I'm going to go and release another ill-conceived alternative album, says Mum Stingray.
Album?
Yeah, like Grimes.
What?
Grimes, Elon Musk's ex-wife.
Oh, right. Yeah. I thought you were going to say, I'm going to release another ill-conceived alternative energy plan.
Sure, yeah.
Because we all know how Tesla and that shit's going to be great for the future.
Celia's flashback progresses to her mum's funeral, where her dad is like, she wasn't herself for a very long time. Alzheimer's, question mark?
Cancer?
Maybe.
Maybe. Unclear.
Anyway, from now on, your papa will take good care of you.
Uh-oh.
Will you help me with my science experiments?
Uh-oh.
You don't need to do much. Just go to sleep for a little while.
Uh-oh,
and
no.
we're all like, red flag, red flag, red flag.
That's not a good papa. That's not a good papa.
Yes, papa, I'll help you.
No, he's not a stingray.
Great. Then I can create the boomer.
He's a shark now. Papa Shark.
And that's the end of the flashbacks for the episode. Lena and Nene realize they're both low on battery, so Pris presumably is too. So Pris and Nene say they will distract the boomer while Lena goes in for the kill.
Which she does.
And yeah, they do that without much incident.
She Zangatsus or whatever it is.
Yep.
Zantetsu?
Zangief.
Zangifsus?
Oh, and as she's going in for the kill, like an eye with teeth opens up on the bit where she's going to hit it, just like in the middle of the flesh, like spontaneous eye and teeth. Like real Soul Calibur
Soul Calibur Nightmare?
Soul Calibur nightmare vibes.
I was very reminded of that bit from The Thing, where
where
he's gonna...
They're doing the surgery. And
and then he's like, clear, and then it opens up, he goes in, and
Yeah.
then... Yeah, it's a lot like that. But... Thankfully, when she chucks
she's
mecha hand in,
she's wearing an armored suit.
If only the thing had mechas in it, it would all be so much quicker to resolve.
She crushes the core, the boomer collapses into a heap of slag with a lot of smoke, and they're like, oh, we did it. Oh no, the AD police are still all here. Let's all jetpack away. But because their powers are all so low, Lena lands on a pipe for a moment, the K-suits start shooting at the pipe, and Leon and Delia are like, what are you doing? They're not boomers. And then the pipe collapses. Lena tries to jetpack away further, but she doesn't have enough power. She falls into the darkness, and end of episode.
Ooh.
How are they going to get out of this one? But before you answer that,
What?
what were our highlights and lowlights for this episode, Nick?
My low light is quite difficult to pick, actually.
Wasn't one of the, 6 times Pris looked over her shoulder at someone?
So often, she just looks over at Salt, but no, that's what makes her Pris, you know? Like, you can't fault a character for consistently being that character.
It's true, she is who she is.
Exactly. Much like I am who I am and you are who you are, we've all got faults. I, for example, actually I don't have any faults now that I think about it.
It's true.
Yeah. Damn!
You're the perfect life form. The boomer.
What's the opposite of subhuman?
Pro-human? Dom-human?
Dom-human. I am the Dom-human. I am the Hugh Dom.
Great, we arrived at an answer to that which didn't involve any sort of Nazi rhetoric.
Yes, I am the eugenic that doesn't involve the eugenics, alright? We're not going down that path. But I'm that one.
Nick, what was your low light for this episode?
I reckon my low light would probably have to be Celia. This is going to be a bit weird, but Celia getting mad.
Drinking her scotch in her nightgown and being like, oh, boomers!
Yeah, it's just a bit like, at this point, it's very on the nose that we know that she had something to do with the boomers.
Yeah, and she feels responsible for it.
Yeah, and she keeps alluding to it, and I'm like, okay, but you're not... Why are you killing all the boomers?
She hates them because they go insane.
I know, but it's a bit like... How deep does that rabbit hole go, man? And it's a hard low light, too, because you can't... It's not even, that bad. Actually, maybe I should pick a different one. Maybe I should pick the too much mustard.
That's actually what I was going to go with.
Yeah, because, who has smoked salmon and mustard?
That's the nearest what we could pick out what was in those sandwiches. Also, could have been ham.
Ham is not that pink, though.
Okay.
And not that, curvy. It had lines. It had to be salmon, surely.
Anyway.
So that would be my low light. Would be one of those two.
Yeah, I think I've got to go with sandwich scene too. It was a good little character moment, but just compared to everything else that was going on, it's at the bottom of the pile for me.
Yeah. Hate boomers. Highlights?
Actually, no, I'm going to correct mine. My lowlight was the waitress boomer fight. Because it felt a bit rushed through, like how immediately they all ran out of battery there. Like I know that Lina and Nene had both just been jetpacking through the sky, which would have consumed a lot of power. But they basically got there, then immediately ran out of power.
Yeah, but I guess it shows you the
if you weren't going to get there in time to make any difference, you should have taken the car in the first place.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because like you can't. It like sets up the stakes of like what happens if you actually run out of meter. It's like, well, then you die.
Or they should have sent one of them there jetpacking for immediate assist and taken the other in the car to actually win the fight.
Yeah, but they didn't do that.
No. Highlights.
Highlight.
My highlight is probably the fight with the factory boomer. We finally get to see our 3 main boomer fighters all in action doing good work.
True. We get to see all their powers at the same time. I reckon my highlight is... I don't want to say when he's in the car and he says...
The scene is bad.
Because it's so dumb.
I won't stop you.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm going to say... I want to say Celia's backstory is good.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's intriguing.
It is intriguing.
Which brings me to segue quite neatly into our next segment, Nick.
What's that?
Celia has a mysterious backstory. Mason has mysterious plans.
He does.
Lina has fallen to a world of peril and AD police with her batteries low.
Also true.
In the middle of an AD police ambush.
A logical presumption.
What will happen next time on Bubblegum Crisis, Tokyo 2040?
That's not the year. Wait, it is. I hope the episode is called something really dumb, like The Beatles.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Tokyo 2040, Episode 6, Get It On.
Ooh. All right, Lina's running out of meter.
Yes. She had insufficient meter to activate her jet boost, so it stands to reason she's probably pretty low.
So I have to think about this
rationally.
Less wider, because I think my last prediction was too wide-reaching.
Sure.
This one is just going to be like, all right, what the fuck is she going to do? Because she obviously will land, and the AD police will be all like, look, a lightsaber.
Get her.
Get them, boys. And they'll be like, why? It's like, because they're boomers, obviously. That'll be the rationale.
Sure.
Then she'll just run away because guns can't hurt her. But she'll be
Does
like,
she have enough power to run?
Well, that's the question.
Or is she like running and the suit's getting heavier and heavier? But she worked out last episode, so she can move more.
And they'll be like, wait, but Lina, the meter ran out half an hour ago.
You were animating the boomer through pure force of will.
But you're not even connected to the Matrix. So she'll probably be running out of meter pretty desperately, so she won't use any powers to fight back.
Yep.
Leon and Daly will try to...
What are you doing? There's a human in there.
Yeah, they'll try to like cut her off. And then they'll be like, you, Night Saber, who are you? And she'll be like, oh. And Celia will be like, don't say a damn word. But she'll like...
Don't give them your wallet.
Yeah, she'll fess up and be like, I'm a Night Saber. I'm a hero. And they'll be like hell you are. And then they'll try to arrest her.
Okay, they won't try and shoot her though.
No. Because they want answers, Liam.
Sure, yeah.
They don't want another body in the morgue. They want
the chief will be like, you should have left that to the regular police.
Exactly. You should have left the killing to us. So they'll cut him off.
So Nene and Pris get away.
Yep. But then what if, right? What if, in true Bubblegum Crisis fashion...
He says, having watched 5 episodes...
Pris just fucking shows up as Pris on her motorbike and distracts Leon and Daly.
Oh, and Nene like hacks the electronic lock because she works at AD Police HQ.
Yep, and then they just like get away.
Yep. The cameras didn't show anything.
But how? That's impossible. Something like that. And then we'll have Celia being sad.
She'll smash, I don't know, like a boombox this time.
You know, I reckon she will smash the mechanic. No, she'll smash...
baby.
She'll smash... It won't be a boombox, because that's too on the... She'll smash a tape recorder.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because she'll be playing something where it's like, play it back again. It's like, this happened at this time. Boomers are on the streets. Bam!
I can't believe they're putting boomers on the streets, she'll say.
Yeah.
And then she'll take some pills.
Yeah. Alan will...
Why don't they love boomers?
Alan will continue to question people
But he doesn't question boomers. Themes,
Yeah.
wise.
I wonder if Mason will actually do something.
Mason will be like, I'm plotting. But am I plotting as part of the show, or do I just kind of have my own thing going on?
Yeah, I'm wondering if Mason will actually do a thing next episode. Like, actually physically do something next episode instead of just talking to Alan.
Nick, he's management. He won't do anything.
It's too real.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you think's going on with Celia and helping her father's research as a child? You'll just have to go to sleep for a little while.
So obviously they cloned her brain, right?
Okay.
So they took her consciousness and put it into the boomers.
All of the boomers? Or
all the boomers.
Okay.
She's like the core.
So all the cores are like her cells or something?
Exactly. So they're all her...
Because they have like little bio stuff going on in the core, like we see.
Oh yeah, they do, don't they? Oh.
Or so, I think that might have just been the prototype one we saw in the flashback.
Yeah, so it'll be like something like, she went to sleep and now her consciousness is in all the boomers, but there's something different about them and weird. And she's like, I don't like that. I don't like those boomers.
I don't like the fact they're me.
Yeah, I don't like the fact they're me and they're going crazy because that means
Does that mean I could go crazy?
Exactly.
Smash!
No, I couldn't go crazy. I'm a human. Yeah, so maybe that's what Alan, like the parallel between Alan being like, humans go crazy. Why don't they incite such fury? And then we'll hard cut to her having a mental breakdown, being like, no, I can't go crazy. I'm a human. And then she'll transform into a crazy person.
She'll go like full on Tetsuo from Akira?
No. She'll just go crazy.
Okay.
Because she's a human, not a boomer.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a human.
Yeah. So
a human could never be a boomer.
Uh-oh.
Great. Well, we'll find out all that and more next time on Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040 as covered by JoJo's World.
Yes.
And until then, to be continued.